All right, let's look at the homework 7.5, problem number 6. All right, so let's evaluate this integral. All right, so first thing I would do is I'm going to complete the square of the expression inside the square root. All right, so we have 27 minus 6x minus x squared. Right? So I'm going to leave 27 alone, just for now. Then I'm going to pull out the negative one from the next two terms. So you have a negative, and then from negative x squared becomes just a x squared. And negative 6x becomes a positive 6x. And I'm going to give a little bit of room here. Right? Then we can add some terms. So it's going to be half of 6 squared, so it's going to be 9. So we would like to have a 9 here, but we can't just put 9, so we're going to have to subtract 9 right away so that we don't change anything, right? Then what we get is, since we like these three terms, so I'm going to combine those three terms together, and we're going to get the quantity x, it's going to be half of that number, plus 3 squared. Right? Then we have, I'm going to have to distribute this negative sign to the leftover term, negative 9. So it's going to be positive 9. So 27 plus 9 is 36. 36 is luckily is 6 squared. Right? So with the negative sign. Right? So that's how we complete the square. Right? Then we get this. So this integral, it now looks like this. Right? Integral square root of 6 squared minus quantity x plus 3 squared dx. Right? So this fits the format of square root of a squared minus something squared. So this is going to be the trig substitution. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to let x plus 3 be h6. So 6. This is the one for sine of theta. Right? Then if you take the derivative, you're going to get the dx over d theta. This is equal to 6 cosine of theta. And then we can multiply through by d theta so that we get the dx is equal to 6 cosine of theta d theta. Right? So we can rewrite it this way. So this is going to be equal to integral. Right? So we're going to plug in 6 sine of theta. So you have 6 squared with the square root. So there's going to be 6. Right? Then you have a 1 minus sine theta squared. So you're going to have a cosine of theta. Right? But the dx has a 6 and a cosine. So it's going to be 6 squared and a cosine squared of d theta. Right? So we have 6 squared. So I'm going to just pull those guys out. So 6 squared is a 36. So I'm going to put the 36 outside. Alright, I'm going to use the trig identity for cosine square, which is a 1/2 1 plus cosine of 2 theta. So it's going to be 1/2 is, I'm going to pull it out. Right? Then you're going to have a 1 plus cosine of 2 theta d theta. Right? Then we're going to have, so we can cancel, let's see, 36 divided by 2 is 18. We have that. Then we're going to have, so this is going to be equal to 18 times antiderivative 1 is theta, right? Antiderivative cosine of 2 theta is a sine of 2 theta divided by 2, right? and plus some constant c. Right? And a cosine of 2 theta can be rewritten as, so this is the same thing as 2 sine of theta cosine of theta. Right? So we can cancel 2 on top and the 2 on the bottom. Right? So we need to rewrite this, right? So we need to know what theta is, right? So look at the substitution equation. I'm going to divide through by 6. So I'm going to actually come from here, and we're going to go down here, right? And I'm going to divide through by 6 to get x plus 3 over 6 is equal to sine of theta. Right? Well, we just want theta, so we're going to apply arcsine. So arcsine. So we have an arcsine of x plus 3 over 6 is equal to, and arcsine and sine cancel out, so you get theta. So this is going to be, right, so 18 times, right, arcsine of x plus 3 over 6, right? And plus, right, we need to find the sine of theta, but the sine of theta is x plus 3 over 6, right? Actually, don't forget to put the brackets there, right, times cosine of theta. So if you want to find the cosine of theta, we can just do the right triangle trick, right? So you have a right triangle, right? So this is theta, right? So sine of theta is x plus 3 over 6. So the opposite would be x plus 3, and the hypotenuse would be 6. Right? Then this is going to be adjacent is going to be square root of 6 squared minus x plus 3 squared, which is really exactly the same thing as the original one. It's a square root of 27 minus 6x minus x squared. Right? So let's see. So if you want to find the cosine, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent is a square root of 27 minus 6x minus x squared over 6, and plus some constant c. Alright, so we can clean up but just a little bit. So this is going to be, so just to distribute 18 to each term. So you have a 18 arcsine of x plus 3 over 6. Right? So 6 times 6 is 36. So you cancel with 18 is 2. So you're going to have 2 on the bottom. Then you have x plus 3 times square root of 27 minus 6x minus x squared, right? And plus some constant c, right? So let's type it in. All right, what we got was 18 arcsine of x plus 3 over, okay, I have to probably choose those, over 6, and plus, I'm going to actually put 1/2 in front, and then we have x plus 3, and then we have a square root of 27 minus 6x minus x squared, plus some constant c. Alright, so let's check the answer. Alright, I came back and looks like we got this one correctly. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear.